one thing that the Raiders are hoping to see and find there in the preseason is whether they have a middle linebacker on their roster. That's another question that came through using the hashtag BA Sports Insiders. I don't know. I don't think at this moment, do they think they have one on their roster? They bring in Markel Lee, who of the entire draft class outside of Geary and Conley, and just, why that was spotlit so heavily. He was kind of considered the one Jimmy who might be earning the earliest playing time of those rookies.
Yeah, I mean, right now the competition there is so wide open. I would expect Jelani Jenkins, a guy they brought in free agency, to be the starter at weak side linebacker. But in terms of the Mike, I mean, Corey James, Tyrell Adams, Markel Lee. Obviously, Ben Heaney starts on the non-football injury list, and he probably going to face an uphill. He's probably not making the roster. They're going to be scouring the waiver wire. We all know that. I mean, they basically said that. I mean, they're going to be looking every possible way that they can find to improve. What you would love to see is Markel Lee, Corey, one of those guys, look like a guy who can at least be serviceable. I mean, they're not looking for a guy that's going to be out there every snap and is going to rack up 120 tackles. That's not necessarily what they need. You're going to see a lot of them using kind of 6 DBs and on that defense, bringing in both Melifonwu and Conley. But it's wide open. I mean, that is going to be a competition that those guys, those first couple of preseason games, it's going to be intense to see who's playing well. And it doesn't necessarily mean a whole lot. Ben Heaney was a guy that his rookie year played really well in the preseason and played pretty well in the last few games of the regular season when he got an opportunity. And then he came in last year and didn't have a great preseason and obviously lost his job a couple games into the year. So we'll be watching that position probably more than any. Not like those guys are going to be 3-down players, but you want to see if you can have some kind of talent develop at that position.
And is it a matter of that they just didn't do enough in free agency and during the offseason? They knew this was going to be an issue after last year. Did they not get ahead of it soon enough, Jerry? Because now you're taking a look at, come September 2nd, as the rosters go from 90 to 53, and you'll see at some points guys getting cut before then. But scouring the waiver wire right before that first week, I mean, that doesn't seem like an ideal position to be in. Yeah,
but you set your priorities, and that's the way they set theirs. That middle linebackers, I mean, the days of the Dick Butkus middle linebacker are pretty much over. That position, the guy might get 20, 21 snaps here. They made that clear when they drafted Conley and Melifonwu, that defense now is, heard it described as basketball on a football field. It's matchups. It's how can you match up with certain positions and how they match up with players in space. And when you set your priorities in that way, the guy that plays on your early downs, a middle linebacker and short yardage, comes in after the guys that they address in the secondary. So I think that's just the way they set their priorities, and they're going to live with it.